What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse McFarlane Collector Edition figures. So first up we have Hawkgirl, which looks pretty nice. Nice to get Hawkgirl, the more modern version, so looks good with that outfit design. Looks, everything just like Hawkgirl. And then we also have Superman from the Strange Lives of Superman storyline. So kind of it's kind of hard to see, but on the card you kind of get the comic cover design of what that's from. So he has a weird head with a lion head and a brain head. Now to go along with these, we do also have the Platinum Edition. So we got the Platinum version of Hawkgirl, which is really nice with her classic design. So very nice to have that to go along with like her classic Hawkman and everything we have already. So nice to have her, as well as the Platinum Superman of the same Strange Life. So we get additional heads that appeared in that same comic, as well as the red Superman design, which I do believe, I'll of course go into the story, but I do believe is from a whole different comic, but they threw in the extra heads that go along with that. So Superman has different heads there to go along. They're all crazy designs from that comic storyline. So I am excited to check these 4 figures out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. And let's start off with Hawkgirl, which this version is Kendra Saunders. She's the reincarnation of Shra, which is an angelic herald cursed by God to reincarnate across time and space, and the great niece of Shira Hall. And while attending college, she fell into a deep depression and tried to commit suicide by overdosing on sleeping pills, but this awoke her memories of the past, causing her to become Hawkgirl and joining the Justice Society of America. Now, of course, she has the nth metal wings, as well as enhanced strength and durability, and enhanced vision and accelerated healing. So look good for Hawkgirl. Now, of course, I like the design. Everything about it looks good. And as I sort of mentioned, this is the more modern version of Hawkgirl. So you're seeing like the more modern comics now. But unfortunately, the body doesn't work out the best. It is reusing the like Wonder Woman body and stuff. So does not stand up the best. And with those wings and stuff, makes her so back heavy. So this thing constantly falls. So we're definitely going to have to get her on the base. But thankfully, I was able to like find a balance spot to get her to stand here. But she does look good with the like colored, like I guess it's more brown. I guess it could be like a gold or some sort of like headpiece with actual like gold eyes and stuff. That looks good with some of the black here for the wings and stuff. All that looks pretty good there on the side of the head. Then we get her outfit with like the green shirt with the yellow like stripe section down the center of it, and green pants there going down to the boots, which again reused of the Wonder Woman from the past. So like the red boots with the goldish yellow designs on them there. She got some nice like brown bands there wrapped around the wrist with like studded wristbands and stuff. Belt around the waist with the like little hawk logo for the Thangarians there. Bands around her arms as well, and the wings there on her back. So she has the big wings that of course can fold out and everything, have some movability, so can pose in and out, so like rotate around and stuff. So you get some movements with this. A little bit hard with some spots and stuff like to get the rotation. I guess you can't really go up and down too much and everything, just mostly in and out there. But it's still cool to have the big wings there on her back and stuff. But like I said, unfortunately it kind of ruins the figure because it makes it really hard to get it to stand up. But moon-wise, the head will twist all the way around. She can look down that far and up that far, so decent movements there in the head. Shoulders will come up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get a bicep twist. Doesn't really twist too much though, but there is that cutout there, so twist around. And the double elbow joint that bends up that far, almost all the way up on itself. Wrist will twist all the way around. It has the flex up and down there on the joint, as well as the ab crunch, so the upper crunch back and forth, and will twist all the way around. And of course, we get that at the waist as well. So crunch just very little, not much, and twist there is pretty stiff, but does twist all the way around. Then we go down to the hips. That'll come up towards 90 and out to the side there in the splits. A little bit of a thigh twist and the double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, almost kicking herself in the butt. And down to the foot, rock back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So decent movements, nothing really wrong with that. Has some pretty good movements, nothing to get in the way and all that. But unfortunately, like I said, with just this body design, it makes it really hard to stand up, especially with those wings on the back. But thankfully, she does come with the base, so I'll put her on and just help try to keep her standing. Then for accessories, she comes with some additional hands. So she has a fist on and then like a grip hand. So we get the opposite. So we get a fist hand and a trigger finger hand for the opposite set of hands there, as well as a set of splayed out finger hands. So you can put those on if you want to do that. But for the hands she has, especially with the grip hand there, we'll give her mace. So she has the nth metal mace as well. So that looks pretty cool. Nice design for that. We'll put this in her grip hand. So there she has the mace, which that looks pretty cool. Nice design for that. And of course, to go along with her, we have the Hawkman of the more modern design. Now I forget all the information about the Hawkman, so I don't know if it's Carter Hall still or not, but there we just get the more modern design of Hawkman to go along with the Hawkgirl there. So we have both of them there together, which is pretty nice. So that looks really good. So really nice for this Hawkgirl. Of course, we get her card as well. So there's a picture of her from the more modern comics and stuff. Looks good, very close to the design stuff. Not exact, but like I said, very close overall for that. And we get her story there on the back, which shows her real name is Kendra Saunders and debuted in JSA Secret Files and Origins #1 in 1999. Using the power of the nth metal, Kendra Saunders is Hawkgirl, one of the Justice League's newer recruits. Having no trouble standing shoulder to shoulder with giants, Hawkgirl's fighting spirit and determination made her feared throughout the galaxies. So good story there for Hawkgirl on the back. So that's really cool. And of course, we also get the platinum version as well. So it's going to be, exact same figure and all that stuff, just recolored to be more of, I'd say, like the older, like maybe Golden Age version, or just like an older school design and stuff with the colors and all that. So we can switch her out. Now, of course, with this one, everything's going to be the same. So we won't go over like the movements and all that accessories and stuff. The one thing that is different, she comes with a different color mace. So the other one had like a bluish color. This one's just all silver. Of course, switched out some of the body design with just all yellow top, red underwear, green pants. Still same sort of boot design, just maybe a little bit colors off. Maybe looks like a little bit more of an orangish red there. Some more of this brownish blonde color wings, a nice orangish burnt orange sort of headdress piece there. So just switched out some of the colors is really all it did to make it look more of the older school design there. But of course, this version is Shiera Saunders, or Shiera Hall, which was the Golden Age Hawkgirl and wife of Carter Hall. But for her story, centuries ago, the princess of Egypt, Shiera, and her lover Prince Khufu were killed with an nth metal knife. This caused them to be reborn throughout the centuries and to find each other again. In the 20th century, Shiera was reborn as Shiera Saunders, and Khufu was born as Carter Hall, also known as Hawkman, and she was granted with her own costume and nth metal wings to become Hawkgirl alongside him. So that's what we get here. So really nice for this version of Hawkgirl. Like I said, everything else is the same. Just love having the old nice classic design. And of course, to go along with her with that, we have the old design or classic version of Hawkman as well. So we have those two that go along together, and those look really nice. Nice colors and all the matching and stuff. Match much more than the newer designs, but that just looks so cool. And the nice classic designs there of Hawkman and Hawkgirl there together. So really cool to have our two designs for Hawkgirl. Again, getting the more modern design and the platinum version of the like Golden Age version of Hawkgirl. So really cool to have both of these. And then we've got the Strange Lives of Superman figure, which is based off the Giant Superman Annual Number 3 from 1961, which is a compilation of different stories from the life of Superman. So we had all the different head designs for him. So just the way he is here, just based off this line that he came straight out of the box with the lion head, which was from Action Comics number 243. And in it, we say Superman saves a descendant of Cersei, and she invites him in for a drink. But before he leaves, she asks him to marry him, in which he rejects. And then she explains that she put a potion in the drink that will change him into an animal until he accepts to marry her. So that's why he's getting turned into a lion here. So he has the lion head and lion claws there on his hands. So that's pretty fun. Otherwise, it's just the base Superman body. So with the nice blue outfit, so blue upper top and pants, the red underwear with yellow belt, S logo there on his chest with the red cape on the back with the S as well. And of course, nice wire in that, and the red boots on his feet. So it looks just like the basic Superman body we've been getting, especially more recently, but just has the lion head, which looks pretty fun, as well as the claws there on his hands. So that's a fun design. It looks really good, of course, kind of cartoony and funny and stuff, but it looks pretty good overall. Now I guess we'll go and do it for the movement. So the head will twist around. Of course, with the lion head, probably don't get it twist too much, just a little side to side, look down that far and up that far, so just a little back and forth. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself there. With the lion paws, we get the hands that twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch on their chest, crunch back and forth and twist around. And of course at the waist, crunch a little and twist around there as well. Then we go down to the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side to the splits there. Has a little bit of a thigh twist. Double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back. Ooh, very close to kicking himself in the butt. And then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So good movements overall. The standard Superman body for the McFarlane, so nothing surprising there at all. And all the stuff we can switch out and everything doesn't really have any effects at all, just like some movements with the head on this version. But otherwise, it's just Superman body with different heads and stuff that we can switch out. So that's pretty cool. Now, accessory-wise, this did come with a normal Superman head, so we can just have a normal Superman head there to switch out if we don't want the lions. And also to get rid of like the lion claws, we get some fist hands, so we'll have to switch those out. And we'll go ahead and move over to our next head that this came with, since we get all different heads from this comic storyline. So first we get the brain heads from Action Comics number 256. So let's switch that out. So there we get Superman with the big brain head, which is crazy that he's got that giant cranium now, but still funny. But from this storyline, Superman helps a professor test a time cabinet for a time travel device, and he reappears with a large head claiming to be Superman from the future. So that's pretty fun that he has the big head. Of course, it looks crazy and weird and stuff, so not the best design for Superman overall, but just nice that he comes with that additional head, so you can go with the normal version, the lion version, or the big brain head here. And of course, as with all figures, he comes with a stand. We'll go and put that on, so that'll help keep him standing, especially as we switch through the different pieces, and got those fist hands put on him as well, so we don't have those lion's paws anymore. But before we move over to the platinum version, I do want to show the card from this. So this is what we're going to see here with the different designs. So we get all of these heads here with Superman, so that's what that's from there. And then we get the story on the back, which looks like it's just the standard story for Superman, so I won't read through that again. So unfortunately, it's not for this, but of course it'd be too hard with all the different versions and everything. But then we do also get the platinum, which I'll show you the figure second, because it's kind of like a whole separate thing, but we'll continue on with the heads. So now these heads come with the platinum version, so to get all these heads that of course belong all to the same one from this comic storyline, you'd have to buy the platinum as well. So the next head we got is the wrapped up head, so almost like mummy-like head from Action Comics number 239. So let's put this on him. So there's Superman with the wrapped up head, and the storyline for this is that a nuclear mishap causes Clark Kent's name to be branded on Superman's forehead with kryptonite, so Superman must hide his face from the public so they don't know that he's Clark Kent. So that's why we get the all wrapped up head, so it's just like a mummified sort of wrapped up head there. Kind of a weird storyline, and to wrap your head like this to hide your identity instead of just wearing a mask where you could still see through eye holes and all that, but that's just what they went with that. So there you get the wrapped up head. And then finally we get the goofy face from Superman number 126. So there's Superman with a goofy face, and the storyline from this is that Superman reveals to Lois that he's actually been wearing a mask this whole time of a handsome man, and that underneath he is actually ugly, so he then takes off his face, and this is the face that's revealed underneath. Now, of course, in the comics it did look different. It was more redhead. It was supposed to look like Alfred E. Newman from the Mad Comics and everything, but I assume for copyright reasons stuff, they couldn't just completely rip that off, so they switched it to this, where he's got more of the black hair and stuff, to match more with Superman, but still has the big buck teeth and like the red cheeks and all that sort of funny looking face there. So that's just kind of funny that they did give us that head as well, just like I said, modified it to get around the copyright thing and all that. So that's fun that he comes with the goofy head as well. So that's pretty fun. Of course, we get all those different heads we can pick and switch out, like I said, or we just can make him into a normal Superman. So if you rather have that version, which the face does look kind of like, I want to say realistic and stuff. I don't know what it is. There's something about it, and love how it has the blue there and his hair and everything as well. So you just get a base body Superman here now, and of course all those different heads and accessories and stuff like the lion head and hands and stuff as well that can go along with it, but just cool for the design that we get here of a basic Superman, and then all those fun heads you can give to him. But then we also get the platinum version of Superman, which is more of the red Superman this time, and of course these are going to be exactly the same, at least same look like head design stuff. Just this time we get an all red body for Superman, which is kind of cool. Nice design for that, which of course I don't really know exactly. I don't know what the exact details are and stuff, like where he pulled them from, but just looking at stuff, I did find a Superman that looked exactly like this from the Amazing Story of Superman Red and Superman Blue from Superman number 162 in 1963. And in it, Superman has a list of goals to complete, so he creates a kryptonite powered machine to increase his intelligence, which does end up working, but also splits him into two different beings of a red and a blue costume. So this is the red version, so it looks exactly like this, so I assume that's what it's supposed to be from, where it's all red this time. Still has the S on his chest, the red cape with the S, all red costume this time, and has like this black shading there on the underwear piece. So he looks, like I said, exactly like this, so I'm taking that's what this is going to be from. But it's just weird it's pulled from a just completely different comic, where all those additional heads and stuff were from the annual Superman compilation, where this is just some completely random comic and everything. And everything else is going to say, like I said, he does come with the two additional heads, so he came with the goofy head and the wrapped up head, so you could still do part of that with these. And then the only real different accessories that he comes with the flying flat hand, since he didn't come with the lion paws as additional hands there. So it's just cool that we get this one, and I believe a part of the storyline is that at the end he ends up flying away or going to another universe, or something happens where he goes off and lives another life, and then the blue version of Superman is what we have left remaining. So our red and blue Superman end up splitting apart, and blue Superman is what we have in our universe. But there's just our two nice figures of Superman, of the Strange Lives of Superman. Well, that's gonna be it for our DC Multiverse McFarlane Collector Edition figures, where we got Hawkgirl and the Strange Lives of Superman. So pretty cool to have these. So of course we got Hawkgirl and the Platinum version, so the Modern and Golden Age, as well as the Strange Lives of Superman, and the additional one to go with him in the Platinum version. That's more of the Red Superman. So very cool for both these figures. Love, of course, like having just the Superman's weird, like definitely not a necessary figure, just weird with all the different head design stuff coming from that comic. But the Hawkgirls are pretty cool, especially in the Modern and Classic, especially the Classic, because that's the design of Hawkgirl I grew up with. So really nice to have her and everything. So really cool to have both these figures added to the collection. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.